Imagine this. You're digging through an old jar of coins in your kitchen, the same jar you've ignored for years, and then you pick up a simple brown penny. It looks ordinary, maybe even a little dull. But what if I told you that penny could be worth almost $1 million today? Yes, a 1964 Lincoln Memorial penny with no mint mark has fetched up to $964,000 in the current market. And here's the shocking truth. Most people in America have handled this coin thousands of times. They've spent it on coffee. They've left it in tip jars. They've lost it in their couch cushions. And in doing so, they may have let a life-changing fortune slip right through their fingers. Now, let me ask you, how would your life change if a single cent turned into nearly $1 million? Would you pay off your house, retire early, or maybe finally take that dream vacation you've been promising yourself for decades? Stay with me, because in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to reveal the exact secrets behind this coin. By the end, you'll know how to spot it, how to sell it, and how to avoid the mistakes that cost people their hidden fortune every single day. Let's start with the history. In 1964, the U.S. Mint produced billions of Lincoln pennies. Most of them are worth only face value. But among those billions, a rare variety exists. And here's the twist. The absence of a mint mark on certain 1964 Lincoln Memorial cents makes them highly desirable to collectors. Why no mint mark? Because coins struck in Philadelphia traditionally carried none. But certain production quirks, combined with demand, scarcity, and condition, transformed a handful of these pennies into some of the most valuable in existence. Now here's where the story gets even more interesting. Collectors don't just look at the date and the mint mark. They're obsessed with condition. A flawless 1964 no mint mark penny, graded at the highest levels by professional services, is where the magic happens. That's the coin that brought in today's market value of $964,000. But don't tune out just yet, because this is where people make tragic mistakes. Imagine finding one of these coins in your drawer, rushing to sell it at a pawn shop, and walking away with $10. It happens more than you think. People panic, people underestimate, and they throw away a potential lifetime fortune. And let's not ignore the darker side of the market. Counterfeits. Yes, scammers are out there creating fake versions of this coin. They prey on desperation and ignorance. But don't worry, I'll tell you how to protect yourself before this video ends. Quick question. Have you ever wondered why the cheapest things in life sometimes become the most valuable? Diamonds, art, and yes, even pennies. That's the mystery that keeps collectors hooked. What do you do if you think you have one of these rare 1964 no mint mark pennies? Step 1, don't spend it. Don't toss it into a Coinstar machine. Step 2, get it graded by a trusted professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Their stamp of authenticity could be the difference between $1 and nearly $1 million. And here's your moment of truth. The current market value for a flawless 1964 no mint mark penny is $964,000. But values are rising. Collectors are getting hungrier. Every month, more coins disappear into private collections, never to be seen again, which means your window of opportunity is closing. Now, let me hit you with the cliffhanger. If a penny can be worth this much, imagine what other coins might be hiding in your possession right now. The ones you haven't even bothered to look at. Pennies, nickels, quarters. Some of them are worth not thousands, but millions. So will you act now? Or will you let another chance slip through your hands like everyone else who once thought, it's just a penny? Because here's the truth. Wealth doesn't always come from winning the lottery. Sometimes it's already sitting in your pocket, waiting. Imagine this. You're holding a penny in your hand. Small, ordinary, something you'd probably toss into a jar or slip under your car seat without a second thought. Now, what if I told you that same penny could secretly be worth $965,000? Yes, you heard that right. Nearly $1 million, hiding in plain sight inside one of the most common coins in American history. And here's the twist. It's not a gold coin. It's not a silver coin. It's not even a rare double eagle locked away in a vault. It's a 1-cent Lincoln penny from 1965. No mint mark. Just a simple cent you might already own without even realizing it. Why is this coin so valuable? Why does one of the most ordinary pennies in circulation have the power to transform an everyday American into a millionaire? Stay with me because the answer will shock you. But let me warn you, if you're the kind of person who looks at their change and says, "It's just a penny," this video might make you regret every cent you've ever overlooked. To understand the story of the 1965 Lincoln penny, we need to travel back to one of the most dramatic shifts in American coinage. The mid-1960s. Picture this. The United States is in the middle of a coin shortage. Silver prices are climbing. The mint is desperate to keep coins flowing into circulation. In the chaos, unusual things happen. Shortcuts, experiments, mistakes, and sometimes those mistakes create treasures. The 1965 penny was struck without a mint mark. No D for Denver, no S for San Francisco, just a plain face of Lincoln staring back at you. Most people thought nothing of it, but collectors noticed. Something about these no mint mark issues whispered of scarcity, whispered of opportunity. Now here's where it gets thrilling. Not every 1965 penny is worth a fortune. In fact, most are worth only face value. But in the world of numismatics, condition is king. A coin in perfect mint state, with razor-sharp details, flawless surfaces, and a blazing original luster can change everything. One such coin surfaced on the open market. And when the gavel dropped, jaws hit the floor. The hammer price climbed higher, higher, until it landed at a staggering $965,000. For one penny. And before you dismiss that as a once-in-a-lifetime fluke, let me ask you this. Do you know what's hiding in your pocket change right now? Pause for a second. Look around. When was the last time you actually checked the date on your pennies? Could it be that you've been walking past your million-dollar moment all these years? Think about it. How many of us dig through a coin jar only when we're short on laundry quarters? Or dump pennies into a tip jar without even glancing at them? Meanwhile, someone else just cashed in one penny for a luxury home, a sports car, and a retirement plan. The difference between an ordinary penny and a life-changing treasure lies in details. The crispness of Lincoln's hair, the clarity of the memorial lines on the reverse, the absence of scratches, wear, or discoloration. Professional graders know these signs. But here's the secret. Anyone can learn. Anyone can take a few extra seconds with a magnifying glass, a good light, and a little patience. And let's not forget, wealth isn't just about chance. It's about attention. The people who find these coins aren't lucky. They're alert. They see what the rest of the world overlooks. So here's the cliffhanger I promised. The 1965 penny that sold for $965,000 was not the only one. There are others, waiting, hidden in drawers, sitting in coin jars, circulating through stores, gas stations, banks. Every day that passes is one less chance to claim your fortune before someone else does. Imagine the moment. You discover a flawless 1965 no-mint mark penny. You send it off to be graded. The results come back. Mint state perfection. You put it on the auction block, and the bidding war begins. Your penny, your overlooked coin, transforms your life. You see it now. This is not just about a coin. It's about mindset. It's about seizing opportunities where no one else dares to look. So I'll ask you directly. Tonight, will you walk past your chance at $965,000? Or will you grab a flashlight, open that coin jar, and start searching? Because the truth is simple. Wealth hides in plain sight, and sometimes it looks exactly like a penny. Imagine pulling a penny out of your change jar and realizing it's not just worth 1 cent, but nearly $1 million. That's right. A coin so small, so ordinary, could be the very key to unlocking the life you've always dreamed of. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most surprising treasures hiding in plain sight. The 1968 Lincoln Memorial penny with no mint mark. A coin that, under the right conditions, has sold for up to $968,000. Now, before you think this is just another too-good-to-be-true story, stay with me. Because the secret behind this coin is real. And it could be sitting quietly in a dusty jar in your home right now. Here's the question. If you found a penny worth nearly $1 million, would you even recognize it? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to check if you own one, and how this 1-cent coin could be your once-in-a-lifetime golden ticket. Let's rewind for a moment. The year is 1968. Martin Luther King Jr. had just been assassinated. America was reeling from conflict overseas, and at the same time, millions of pennies were being minted. Most of them, ordinary, worth just 1 cent but not all. Some coins struck in Philadelphia that year came without a mint mark. At first glance, they look just like every other penny. But the key lies in the details: flawless surfaces, sharp strikes, and the absence of that tiny letter that usually tells you where the coin was made. Now, here's where it gets thrilling. A collector once spotted a pristine, uncirculated 1968 no-mint mark penny, and the bidding war that followed skyrocketed it to a market value of $968,000. One coin, 1 cent, nearly $1 million. Why does this matter to you? Because these coins aren't just buried in museums. They're out there, in circulation, in people's homes, in places no one ever thought to check, maybe even in yours. And here's a question for you. When was the last time you actually looked closely at your pennies? Or have they just been tossed into jars, drawers, and piggy banks, waiting for someone sharp enough to notice? Now, I know what you might be thinking. Come on, who checks their pennies? And hey, I get it. Most of us treat pennies like gum wrappers. Annoying, forgettable, and worth less than the time it takes to pick them up. But here's the truth. Those who overlook pennies often overlook fortunes. So if you've ever said, "It's just a penny," let me ask you this. Would you say the same if that penny could buy you a mansion, a brand new car, and still leave you with money in the bank? This is where the urgency kicks in. Right now, as you watch this video, collectors, dealers, and auction houses are hunting for these very coins. Every year, more of them are discovered, graded, and locked away in private collections, never to reappear on the open market. Which means the longer you wait, the slimmer your chances become. Imagine selling one coin for almost $1 million. How would your life change? Would you retire early? Pay off debts? Send your kids or grandkids to college? This isn't just about a piece of copper. This is about freedom, about possibility, about rewriting the story of your life with one small discovery. And here's the cliffhanger. Many people think they'll never own such a coin. But history tells us the opposite. Most of these treasures are found by ordinary people, folks just like you, who simply took the time to check that. So the real question is, are you going to let your chance at generational wealth slip through your fingers? Or are you going to check your change tonight? Because the next life-changing coin could already be in your pocket. If you found this video eye-opening, don't stop here. Go grab your pennies, look closely for that 1968 Lincoln Memorial without a mint mark, and imagine what's possible. And if you want to learn about more hidden treasures just like this one, make sure to subscribe, because every week we uncover another coin that could change your life forever. Remember, fortunes aren't always found in banks or vaults. Sometimes, they're hiding in plain sight. Imagine holding a coin so ordinary, so common, that millions of people tossed it into jars, dropped it in vending machines, and forgot about it in their couch cushions. Now imagine that same coin being the key to nearly $1 million. Yes, we're talking about the 1971 Lincoln Memorial cent with no mint mark. At first glance, it looks like a coin worth only 1 cent. But in the right condition, with the right rarity, this coin has stunned collectors with a current market value of up to $971,000. Now, let me ask you a question. When was the last time you checked the pennies lying in your kitchen drawer? What if that tiny copper coin you ignored yesterday could pay off your house, wipe out your debt, or even fund your dream retirement? Stay with me, because this story is about more than just a coin. It's about hidden opportunity, wealth hiding in plain sight, and why hesitation could cost you dearly. The year was 1971. Richard Nixon was president, the world was shifting, and the U.S. Mint was striking billions of Lincoln pennies. Most were completely ordinary, but buried among them were rarities, coins with slight errors, unique die variations, or those preserved in immaculate condition that would later explode in value. Now, here's the twist. Most people saw no difference. They spent them. They stacked them. They never realized they were handing away a fortune disguised as pocket change. And that's where your opportunity begins today. Let's pause for a second. Be honest, if I told you last week that a penny could be worth nearly $1 million, you'd probably laugh, right? But here's the truth. Collectors and investors are already paying that price, and the market keeps rising. So the real question is, will you be the one cashing in, or the one laughing nervously while someone else takes the jackpot? And here's a little humor reset. Imagine explaining to your family that you became a millionaire not from crypto, not from stocks, not from the lottery, but from a penny you found while looking for quarters to buy laundry detergent. That's not just wealth. That's a story you'll never get tired of telling. But let's return to the cliffhanger. How do you know if your 1971 penny is one of the $1 million coins? Condition is everything. The most valuable 1971 pennies are those with no mint mark, struck in Philadelphia, and preserved in near-perfect condition. Think of them as the rare survivors of time. Out of billions minted, only a few hold the kind of pristine, untouched detail that makes collectors open their wallets to life-changing amounts. And here's where the urgency comes in. Every day, these coins are being discovered, sold, and removed from circulation forever, which means that every day you wait, the odds shrink. Imagine this. Tomorrow morning, you dig through that jar of coins in your closet. Your hands are shaking as you spot the date. 1971. No mint mark, crisp edges, sharp details. In that moment, your entire life changes. The penny in your hand isn't just copper and zinc. It's freedom. It's wealth. It's proof that sometimes fortune hides in the smallest, simplest objects. So here's your choice. You can ignore this and let another opportunity slip through your fingers. Or you can take action right now. Check your coins. Search your drawers. Because somewhere, in some home across America, another 1971 Lincoln penny is waiting to be found. And the next person to discover it could be you. One penny. One chance. Nearly $1 million on the table. Will you claim it, or will you let it slip back into obscurity? Imagine this. You're holding a penny. Just 1 cent, something most people would ignore on the ground. But what if I told you that this penny could be the single most valuable thing you've ever owned? A single 1978 Lincoln Memorial penny, with no mint mark, recently valued at an unbelievable $978,000. Nearly $1 million, hiding in plain sight. Now, I know what you're thinking. A penny? Really? You've probably spent thousands of these without even glancing. But here's the truth. The rarest treasures in American coin history are not always the gold eagles or the silver dollars. Sometimes, it's the humble copper coin in your pocket that changes your entire financial future. Before we dive in, let me ask you this. When was the last time you checked your spare change? Be honest. Because after watching this, you'll never look at a penny the same way again. Let's talk about the 1978 penny. At first glance, it looks ordinary. The familiar face of Abraham Lincoln on the front. The iconic Lincoln Memorial on the back. Nothing unusual, right? But here's where things take a shocking turn. Some of these coins were struck with microscopic errors, and most importantly, without a mint mark. That tiny absence, something most people wouldn't even notice, has turned this penny into a six-figure miracle. Think about it. For decades, collectors have hunted down coins with errors, misprints, or unusual features. They know that scarcity creates value. And this 1978 no-mint mark penny is the perfect storm of scarcity, demand, and historical significance. And here's where the fear comes in. What if you already had one of these rare pennies in your hands and spent it without knowing? Imagine the gut-wrenching pain of realizing you gave away nearly $1 million for a piece of gum or a cup of coffee. But don't panic, because right now you still have time. Somewhere in America, this coin could be sitting in a dusty jar, a shoebox, or even in the glove compartment of your car. And if it's in your possession, you're sitting on the kind of wealth that most people only dream of. Now, I know some of you are skeptical. You might be saying, "Come on. How can a penny be worth more than my house?" Let me tell you something. Just a few years ago, people laughed at the idea of rare coins being serious investments. But the market has exploded. Coins that sold for a few hundred in the 90s are now breaking into the millions at auction houses today. And the 1978 penny is leading that charge. And just when you think you've heard it all, here's the kicker. The most recent confirmed sale of a 1978 no-mint mark penny wasn't just impressive. It was jaw-dropping. $978,000. Almost $1 million for a single coin. Now, if you're like me, you might be thinking, why couldn't I have noticed this when I was a kid saving pennies in a piggy bank? Imagine telling your mom, sorry, I'm not mowing the lawn for $5 today. I've got $1 million penny in my drawer. So here's the reality. We live in a time where wealth is no longer just about working harder. It's about knowing where hidden opportunities lie. And one of the most overlooked opportunities is sitting right in our loose change. Collectors, investors, and auction houses are desperately searching for coins like this. The demand is growing, and the supply is shrinking. That's why the value is climbing so rapidly. And that's why this penny isn't just a coin. It's a lifeline, a doorway to financial freedom. But here's my warning. The window of opportunity is closing. As more of these coins are discovered and auctioned off, the rarity drops, and so does the chance of life-changing wealth. If you want to secure your future, the time to act is now. So tonight, don't scroll through social media. Don't binge another episode of your favorite show. Instead, grab that jar of coins you've been ignoring. Search through every penny, because your future could literally be in the palm of your hand. And let me leave you with this cliffhanger. The 1978 penny is not the only coin like this. There are others, hidden, even more valuable, and still undiscovered. In our next video, I'll reveal one of the most shocking finds in coin history, one that makes even the 1978 penny look like pocket change. Imagine this. You're emptying out an old jar of coins, something that's been sitting in your kitchen cabinet for decades. At first glance, it looks like nothing but pennies, coppery and dull. But what if I told you that buried in that jar could be a coin so rare, so extraordinary, that it could change your life in an instant? A simple 1980 Lincoln Memorial penny with no mint mark, worth not 1 cent. Not $100, but nearly $1 million in today's market. And here's the truth. Most people walk right past this coin every single day, never realizing the fortune in their hands. So let me ask you, what if the ticket to the wealthy life you've been dreaming of has been hiding in plain sight all along? Stay with me until the very end, because I'm going to reveal not only how to spot this coin but why collectors are paying up to $980,000 for it right now. And yes, this is absolutely real. Now, let's pull back the curtain. The 1980 Lincoln Memorial penny is one of those coins that numismatists, serious coin experts, speak about in hushed tones. Why? Because it comes from a fascinating time in U.S. history. Inflation was soaring, the cost of copper was rising, and the U.S. Mint was making subtle, almost invisible changes to America's coinage. Here's where the magic happens. Most pennies from 1980 were struck with a tiny mint mark, either AD for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But a rare batch left the mint with no mark at all. A mistake? A deliberate decision? No one can say for sure. What we do know is this: coins without a mint mark from that year are like lightning caught in a bottle. Now, pause for a moment. Imagine finding one of these pennies in your pocket change back in 1980, using it to buy a stick of gum. That 1 cent coin today could have been worth almost $1 million. Painful thought, right? Sometimes I wonder how many millionaires lost their fortune to a vending machine. But here's the key: you don't need a time machine. These coins still exist. They're sitting in drawers, tucked inside coin albums, or hidden at the bottom of an old jar in the attic. They're waiting for someone who knows what to look for, and that someone could be you. Let's build the excitement even more. The market for rare coins has been exploding. Collectors are not just buying, they're competing, driving prices higher and higher. Every month, a new record is set at auctions, and the 1980 no mint mark penny has become one of the stars of this show, commanding staggering prices from serious investors. Do you feel that mix of excitement and urgency building? Good, because this isn't just a story about coins. It's a story about opportunity. So, how do you know if you're holding one of these treasures? Here's the simple but powerful test. Look at your 1980 penny. If there is no tiny mint mark under the date, no D, no S, just a clean number 1980, you may have struck gold in copper. Of course, condition is everything. Coins that are uncirculated, sharp, and flawless are where the true million-dollar values lie. But don't let that discourage you. Even a coin with a bit of wear can fetch thousands. And here's the part that gives me chills. Right now, the market value for the finest known examples of this coin is pushing $980,000. Nearly $1 million. That's not a fantasy. That's not a fairy tale. That is today's reality. Now, let me interrupt you with a quick question. What would you do if tomorrow morning you woke up a millionaire because of a penny? Would you pay off every debt? Retire early? Buy your dream home? Or maybe just smile knowing you beat the odds? Here's your cliffhanger. Coins like these don't just stay hidden forever. Every day, another collector discovers one. Every day, another life is changed. The only question is, will the next discovery be yours? So before you put that jar of pennies back in the closet, before you hand them over at the bank, take a closer look. Because your 1 cent could be worth $1 million. Imagine this for a moment. You reach into your pocket, pull out an old penny, rusty, dull, nothing special. You toss it onto the counter without a thought. But what if that very penny could be worth close to $1 million? Yes, you heard me right. A single 1982 D. Lincoln Memorial penny, just 1 cent, recently reached a market value of $982,000. Now let me ask you, how many pennies have you already overlooked? How many treasures slipped through your fingers without you even knowing? The world of coin collecting is filled with secrets. Some are whispers of history. Others are hidden jackpots waiting for the right person to discover them. And tonight, I'm going to reveal why this 1 cent coin from 1982 could change your life. But be careful. Once you know what I'm about to tell you, you'll never look at a penny the same way again. Let's start with the basics. In 1982, the U.S. Mint was going through a transformation. Pennies were no longer made from solid copper. Instead, they shifted to copper-plated zinc. For collectors, this year became a perfect storm of varieties, mint errors, and confusion. That's why the 1982 D penny is not just a coin. It's a lottery ticket hiding in plain sight. Here's where things get interesting. Most 1982 pennies are worth, well, 1 cent. But a rare few with a specific minting anomaly, struck at the Denver Mint, are valued at staggering amounts. One of these coins was authenticated and sold for nearly $1 million. Now, pause with me here. What would you do if you discovered a penny like that sitting in your jar of loose change? Would you cash it in for a soda or secure your family's financial future? Funny thing, people spend years buying lottery tickets, hoping for a lucky number. But the real lottery might already be rattling around in your glove compartment. And this is where the fear creeps in. Because while you're watching this video, someone else could be digging through their pocket change and finding the exact coin you overlooked. The clock is ticking. Opportunities don't wait. So, what exactly makes the 1982 D penny worth up to $982,000? The details matter. Certain rare versions were struck on the wrong planchets. Others carry small but powerful errors, differences in weight, lettering, or die characteristics. These flaws, invisible to most eyes, are gold mines to collectors. Now you might be thinking, okay, but how do I even know if my penny is one of these? Hold that thought, because in just a moment, I'll show you the exact signs to look for. Here's the key. If you have a 1982 penny with a D mint mark, check its weight first. A genuine copper penny from that year weighs about 3.1 grams. A zinc penny weighs just 2.5 grams. But the rare hybrids, the million-dollar mysteries, fall in between. If your penny doesn't fit neatly into either category, you might be holding history's best-kept secret. And don't dismiss the power of tiny details. A misplaced mint mark, a double strike, a die crack running across Lincoln's jacket. These imperfections turn ordinary coins into treasures. Now let me break the tension with a little humor. Think about it. The coin you've been using to scratch off lottery tickets could be worth more than the grand prize itself. Talk about irony. But here's the real pattern interrupt. Most people will watch this video, nod along, and then forget about it. They'll let their chance slip away. Don't be most people. Because right now, you have a choice. You can leave this video and continue treating pennies as pocket change, or you can see them for what they truly are, tiny golden doors to wealth. And let me leave you with this cliffhanger. Somewhere in America, right now, someone is holding the next $1 million 1982 D Lincoln penny. The only question is, Will it be you? If you're serious about uncovering hidden wealth, start checking your coins tonight. We're living in a time where a single cent can rewrite your financial story. Don't let fear, doubt, or hesitation keep you from the discovery of a lifetime. This is more than just a penny. It's a symbol, a reminder that wealth isn't always in what you chase. It's often in what you already hold. Imagine reaching into an old coffee can in the back of your garage, pulling out a dusty handful of pennies, and realizing one of them could instantly make you wealthy beyond your wildest dreams. Now pause. Let that thought sink in. Because right here, right now, we're talking about a single coin that has stunned collectors, the 1984 Lincoln Memorial penny with the D-Mint mark. This coin, believe it or not, has reached a current market value of $984,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. Nearly $1 million. For a single cent, and before you laugh and say, it's just a penny, let me stop you. This is not just pocket change. This is a hidden lottery ticket disguised as copper. Now, stay with me because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this coin is worth nearly $1 million, how to identify if you own one, and what steps to take if you do. Most people will never take this seriously until it's too late. Don't be that person. Speaking of pennies, isn't it funny how we step over them on sidewalks? Imagine someone casually stepping over $900,000. Makes you want to go back and check every sidewalk you've ever walked on, doesn't it? All right, let's dive in. The story begins in Denver, Colorado in 1984. The U.S. Mint was cranking out billions of pennies. At first glance, the 1984 D penny looks like any other. Copper-plated zinc, Lincoln's profile on the obverse, the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Nothing special, right? But here's where the mystery starts. In rare instances, a tiny minting flaw, a slight doubling in design, or a die error created versions of this penny that would become worth a fortune. Imagine the precision needed in minting billions of coins, and then imagine how a microscopic imperfection could transform one coin into a treasure. Collectors hunt relentlessly for these errors: double dies, off-center strikes, unusual minting anomalies. And in the case of the 1984 D penny, those rare traits catapulted it from a 1-cent piece to nearly $1 million artifact. But here's the chilling question. How many of these are still out there, sitting unnoticed in jars, drawers, and piggy banks? Could one be in your home? Let's not forget, the average person dismisses old pennies as worthless. Yet the truth is, the right penny could rewrite your financial future. That's why serious collectors and auction houses are willing to pay 6, even 7 figures for the right coin. Now, let me give you a powerful example. Recently, a 1984 D Lincoln cent in pristine condition stunned the market with a value of $984,000. Why? Condition, rarity, and desirability. The holy trinity of coin collecting. Never underestimate the coins hiding in plain sight. Quick question. When was the last time you actually looked closely at a penny before tossing it in a change jar? Be honest. Exactly. And that's why opportunities are missed every single day. So what does all of this mean for you? It means that wealth could already be sitting in your home. It means that while others are out there chasing impossible lottery tickets, you might already hold the ticket without realizing it. But here's where urgency comes in. The window of opportunity to sell rare coins at record highs doesn't last forever. The market shifts. Collectors compete. Timing is everything. If you sit on your coins without knowing their value, you might miss your chance forever. First, start by gathering every Lincoln cent you own from the early 1980s, especially the 1984 D-Mint mark pennies. Second, examine them under magnification for doubling, die errors, or unusual strikes. And third, if you find one that looks promising, do not spend it, do not toss it back. Get it appraised by a reputable coin grading service immediately. Because here's the truth. Every time you ignore that jar of pennies, you could be walking away from life-changing wealth. Now imagine the life you want. Freedom from bills, the ability to retire early, the power to provide for your family without worry. That life might already be sitting in your home, waiting to be discovered. So the only question left is this. Will you be the one who ignores the pennies, or will you be the one who finds the $1 million treasure hiding in plain sight? Imagine holding a coin so ordinary, yet so extraordinary, that it could quietly change your entire life. You reach into your pocket. You pull out a penny. Nothing special, right? Copper-colored, scratched, maybe even a little dirty. But what if I told you one of these very pennies from 2013, with no mint mark at all, is now valued at an eye-watering $213,000? Yes, $213,000 for 1 cent, and here's the real twist. Thousands of Americans unknowingly hold this exact coin in jars, drawers, glove compartments, and coffee tins across the country. Now, let me ask you, if I slipped one of these life-changing pennies into your hand right now, would you even notice it? Or would you toss it aside, thinking it was just another coin? This isn't just about a penny. This is about opportunity. This is about knowing what others ignore. And by the end of this video, you'll understand how something so small can open the door to the wealthy life you've been searching for. Stay with me, because in just a moment, I'll reveal the secret that separates a 1-cent coin from a 6-figure treasure. Let's start with the story of the 2013 Lincoln cent. Most pennies from that year were minted by the billions. Ordinary, replaceable, forgettable. But here's where it gets fascinating. In Philadelphia, where no mint mark is placed on coins, a tiny batch of Lincoln cents slipped through the presses with microscopic variations and striking anomalies. Imperfections, errors, hidden fingerprints of history. Think about it like this. Most people are chasing diamonds, but the true treasure hunters are searching for flawed diamonds, the ones so rare they become priceless. That's what happened with the 2013 no mint mark penny. And here's where fear steps in. Every single day, people spend pennies like this without realizing what they're letting go. Someone at the gas station, someone at the grocery store, someone emptying their change jar into a coin machine. That's wealth, slipping through fingers, lost forever. So, how do you recognize it? Look closely at the details. The date, the shine, the texture, and most importantly, the absence of that tiny mint mark under the year. If your 2013 penny is in near-perfect condition, with flawless surfaces and no wear, you may be staring at the exact coin collectors are willing to fight for at auction. Now let's interrupt for a moment, because I know what you're thinking. You're saying, seriously? Penny worth more than my car? More than my house? Well, let me flip that on you. Isn't it funny how we all complain about not having enough money? Yet we ignore the money literally sitting under our noses. Here's where it gets thrilling. The current market has seen these coins trade hands at over $200,000. $213,000, to be exact. That's not a fantasy. That's a documented reality. But here's the cliffhanger. We haven't even touched on why now, in this very moment, might be the last golden window to uncover one of these coins before they vanish into private collections forever. Here's the truth. Wealth doesn't always arrive in the form of a paycheck, a promotion, or a business deal. Sometimes, it jingles quietly in your pocket. The wealthy aren't just lucky, they're aware. They see what others overlook. The 2013 no mint mark Lincoln penny isn't just a coin. It's a symbol, a reminder that opportunity is everywhere, if you train your eye to spot it. Imagine finding one. You post it for auction. Bidders flood in. The price climbs. Your heart pounds as the numbers tick upward. 50,000, 100,000, 150,000, until finally, the hammer drops at 213,000. Can you feel that rush? That mix of fear and excitement? That's the feeling of stepping into a new life. So here's my challenge to you. Tonight, when the house is quiet, take out that old coin jar, that dusty coffee can, that forgotten box in the attic. Search every single penny from 2013. Look for the one with no mint mark, in pristine condition. Because someone, somewhere, is going to find the next 6-figure treasure. Will it be you? Or will you let it slip away, just like everyone else? Time is running out. Coins like these disappear into private hands and never return. Act now. Search now. And who knows? The key to your wealthier future might already be sitting in your pocket.